Baby, let me explain to you what I'm saying.
What you saying?
It's not even like that.
It wasn't like that, but I saw you.
Baby, I don't love her.
You don't love me? You know what? I don't even want to talk to you.
She don't mean nothing to me.
I don't want to see your face.
She was just telling me.
I just want to see you walking through that door. There ain't nothing else to say.
Why we gotta do it like this? Baby, damn.
Coming home late, it seems you barely beat the sun. Tapping my shoulder, thinking you gon' get you some. Smelling like some fragrance that I don't even wear. So if you want some loving, I suggest you go back there where you came from. Day to day with you, it's always something else. Working my nerve, God knows that I don't deserve what you put me through. Cause I've been so true to you. For you to come at me with another lame excuse. See, I heard it all before. All of your lies, all of your sweet.
Hey y'all, come on in.
Baby, that, but your lies ain't working now.
Hey y'all, come on in, come on in. We got a good show today. Closing out Black History Month. Come on in. We got some good chatterization happening today. I'm chatting with my good sis. Y'all, I call her the future mayor of Chicago, but you know, I'm just putting it out there. But we got a good guest today, closing out our Black History Month episode. We're going to talk about, hey, Bridget, we're going to talk about SOS, y'all. Hey, niece, saving ourselves. And what I mean by that is saving our people. Sticking with our people, saving our people, motivating our people, reeling them in, educating our people. I told y'all we SophistiRatchet over here, but we have balance. We can't talk about all the ratchet stuff and not talk about what's important for real. And what's important is making sure that we stick together and we grow together. We build generational wealth together. And we can only do that by being involved, getting involved, and taking advantage and using our resources and our connections. So today's show is very important for me because this is not just to help you all that's viewing. This is to help me as well. I want to be more involved in my communities across the city. I want to be more involved in making sure that we vote and we're voting for the right people. So I have the right person on this show tonight that's going to help us and guide us and give us some good tips and educate us on how to do that. We need to get more involved and we need to save our people. So it's a SOS, y'all. Even in 2024, we gotta do it for the culture. We have a lot more work to do. We are very successful in many areas. We have people in great industries with platforms, but we can do more and we can do better. So that's what tonight's show is about. And before I bring in my guest, which is again, my good sis, Aisha Oliver, aka Miss Pooh, the Chicago and neighborhood hero. Okay, we're going to bring her in a minute. But right before I bring her in, I want to remind y'all that y'all know I have an organization called IPOP Collective. And IPOP stands for I Am Powerful on Purpose. It is an empowerment organization. We are non-for-profit, and we're here to just help build small business owners and entrepreneurs by networking and providing bartering services and support for like-minded entrepreneurs. So we're kicking off our first event of the year, kicking off the spring season, y'all. We got our 90s game night kickoff. You see that link right down there. Okay, copy that link, click that link. That is where you can purchase your tickets. Tickets are only $25, y'all, and it's March 8th. That's a Friday night. It's a good time. It's at 7:30. You get off of work and come and have a good time. $25 gets you a lot because if y'all know me, y'all know I'm so extra. So we throwing a party, okay? We got games. We got food. We got drinks, of course. We got the candy lady. It's 90s, so it's going to be everything 90s. We got DJ Curtis on the ones and twos. The music going to be dope. The vibe is going to be dope. So I need y'all to get those tickets and help me fill up that room and come and celebrate with our pop. We making a name for ourselves, and we trying to get out there, and we just want to support our people, okay? So click that link, get your ticket, and I want to see y'all on March 8th because it's going to be a whole lot of SophistiRatchetness going on in the building, okay? So now I got the business out the way. We could get to the good stuff. I'm going to bring her right in. I already told y'all this is my good sis. She got a whole lot of titles, okay? Like, I'm going to just run them down real quick, okay? She's a mother, an awesome mother of three. I can't forget Lester. Okay. Lester is her baby. So she's a mother of three. She's an entrepreneur. She's a community activist. She's a youth advocate. And she's also a mentor. And she's an author. Okay. We're going to talk about that. She wrote a book and it's really good. And as I said before, for me, she's the future alderman and mayor of Chicago. Okay. Who I'm talking about? I'm talking about the neighborhood hero, Aisha. Woo! Pew, 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 pew.
What's the word, everybody?
What's going on, sis? Welcome to SophistiRatchet Chat.
Thank you. Ooh, it's a long time coming. I'm glad to see it. Let's go.
Let's go. We here. Y'all don't know how long I've been talking about this to her and telling her how she needs to be a guest. I finally did it. As soon as I reached out to her and asked her to be a guest, she was like, I'm there, sis. So I appreciate you for that, sis. Welcome. I know the SophistiRatchets are excited. Some of them know you as well. So yeah, because you know my following, they the close knit. They the A1s. You know, we got some people in here from the church house.
Yes.
Look, there go Bridget. She said, "Hey, Aisha boo."
Hey, Miss Bridget.
Yes. So welcome again. I'm so happy you here. We're going to dive right into it because, like I said, I'm here to learn too. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you got going on. We're gonna get into some details, but I just want you to let the people know who you are and what you got going on and why you just so relevant and crucial for our community.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for having me on. Let me just tell you live how proud I am of you for sticking with it. And you shared the vision a while ago and you made it happen, sis. So I'm proud of you. And I'm very happy to be here. For everyone else, welcome to a real West Sider, y'all. Real West Sider in the house. Aisha Oliver, founder of Roots of Fruit Youth Foundation here in the Austin community on the west side of Chicago. I do have a lot of titles, but I like for people to judge me on my passion, which is just being present and being a voice for my people in my community, specifically young people. That is where my heart tends to really be pulled. I love to be able to create safe spaces for young people, but ultimately my goal is to build a foundation, to lay a foundation for young people to build on. So everything that I'm doing right now, in all honesty, I believe that God called me to do something special so that I can do what previous generations didn't necessarily do for us, which was reach back and pull the next generation up. The time that I spend with these young people is meant to prepare them to replace me. All of the young people that are connected to me, I tell them every day that their commitment to me and their way of paying me back is to make sure that they extend the same love and grace that I extended to them to another kid coming up in our neighborhood or in whatever community or space that they land. We should always be pulling one another up. So, you know, Roots of Fruit it's an organization now. That's the way it's structured, but it's actually what we call a village building initiative, just meaning that we consider ourselves to be a family outside of our homes. So we are rebuilding the village concept, and we're doing that by creating a safety net and safe spaces in the Austin community. And these young people that you see behind me, This is just a few of the lives that I've been able to touch over November of 2023 made 20 years, y'all, that I've been doing this work.
Wow.
20 years. That's crazy, right?
Wow. That's a long time. And and I've known you for over 10 years. And just when I met you, so it's amazing to hear that, like 20 years. And sis, you've been on the ground. When I say you have, even in the times where you needed a break, you still represented, you still somehow, it's like you couldn't take a break. Yeah. You were still there, you were still present somehow, some way. And like she said, those young people behind her, y'all don't understand. Like when I say she's a mentor, Mama Pooh, like the youth love her. She will give you the shirt off her back if she needed to. Like it's been so many times I've seen her post, like, I know a young person that need this, that need that. It's like I love how you really try to get everybody involved with the situation. Although, because you initiate the help, I know a lot of the weight is on you. So if it don't happen through nobody else, you try to make it happen, which can be a heavy load when, you carrying a big community, including, like, I mean, really the whole West Side and the whole city, if you ask me at this point. It's not just the Austin community, but that's where it started. And they know you, they see you, they respect you. And I'm just so proud of you for that. I want to say that as well. I'm so proud of you because I've seen the grind and I feel like this is just your season. You are flourishing. You operating in your purpose. Like, it's amazing what you're doing for our youth. And I like how you said that you're preparing them to be able to take your place. Because people don't like to face reality that we're not going to be able to do this forever. And not saying that you have to perish physically, you know what I'm saying? Even when it's time for you to retire or sit back or move on to the next project, you are confident in knowing that you got somebody behind you to carry the torch of your legacy and what you started. So I think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of purpose, when did you realize this was your purpose? Like when was that moment in life? Like, where were you? How did that happen? Where you like, okay, I'm just here for the community. Like I'm gonna get knee deep in this, and I'm for my people. I'm for the West Side. I'm from Austin. Like this is just what I'm gonna do.
You know what? When I came home from school, I had to drop out of college. I didn't have financially. I couldn't stay. And I had to come home. And when I came home, I took I was volunteering at a park, and I was just teaching dance as a community volunteer at Moore Park over here in Austin. And I don't know, over time, I just found myself like that started to really pull on me because I would spend so much time with those girls. And the boss at the time saw me with the kids one day, and he was like, "You ever thought about working for the park?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, I never have." And he asked me if I would work summer camp, if I would run day camp, and only had like maybe 20 kids at the time. But just over time, I found myself like really loving being in that space with those kids. And what I realized after working for the park I worked for the park for 7-8 years. My own childhood traumas were being healed by being in space with those kids. Like I could easily recognize the things that they were going through because I had been there, and because I was spending so much time with them in close proximity. A lot of the things that, I could tell that they were dealing with those same types of issues or spirits or what have you. And I just became very, very open to having those discussions with them. And the more I found that, myself talking to them about things that were going on in their life, I was like, man, if they feel this comfortable with me, this is something that I really want. I want to do. I want to be that person for them. This was not at all what I had planned for my life. Like, if I just told people that if you would have asked me at like 20, 21, what I would be doing, I would have told you, oh, I'm going to be a dancer and I'm going to own a dance studio. That's always been my dream. Dance is my first love. And that's always what I wanted to do. And dance led me to my purpose. teaching dance to those girls led me to my purpose. It gave me a space to be in and become a role model for young women in my community. And then young men saw what I was doing with the young women. So now they're drawn to the space. And ultimately, I think it was just like, you think about it sometimes, you'd be like, man, how did I get here? You could have never told me that this is the space that I would be in. But, you know, God works in mysterious ways. And I ended up like, this is, when you said legacy, I just talked to some of my young men yesterday about legacy. And I was telling them that, you know, at the end of the day, I might not see the fruits of all of my labors in my lifetime, but I can at least rest knowing that the work that I've done will be left for them to build their families off of. Like, I want y'all to be able to, you know, make a salary off of the work that I started. You know what I mean? That's the goal. And I think it would be selfish of me to know what works and what doesn't work and not share it with the next generation. So I feel like what I'm doing, I know for a fact, not just feel it, but I know for a fact that what I'm doing right now is definitely the stepping stone for the generation coming behind me. And they're going to be better than me. I tell them all the time, like, your job is to be better than me. Like, and there's no shade and no shame in it. Like, you're supposed to up me, the score on me.
What are we here for if we not teaching them to be better than what we were? Not saying we were just so bad. Mm-hmm. It's just that there's always room for improvement.
Yep.
So as time goes on, everything should get better.
Yep.
Everything should get better. They're more intelligent. And as we can tell, like, I applied this generation so much, although, you know, every generation have flaws.
Yeah.
Okay. That's another conversation for another show. Okay. Mm-hmm. Every generation has flaws, but I feel like we have to look at the more positive side and take that and work with that, what we have with our generation, because they're so hungry. They're so hungry and they just have a different mindset. Like, I feel like this generation is about getting to the money.
Yes.
They not playing. They standing on business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My son, 18 years old, and I told him, I said, look, son, whatever you want to do after you graduate, as long as it's productive and you're not sitting around doing nothing with your life, I'm going to support whatever it is, as long as you have a plan. When I say my baby, and I know it was gonna be in him, because I'm a hustler, I'm a grinder, baby. I'm gonna get an income one way or another. All right. And I worked without a 9-to-5 plenty of years straight, and I still paid them bills. So I know it's in them. But he just like, he about getting that coin. Even at 18, my baby go to school, then he go to barber school, then he go to work, and he come home. He be like, that's all I want to do, Mom. I'm trying to stack my money. And then when I get this credit card, I'm going to pay my phone bill with it so I can build my credit. I said, that's right, son, boy.
No, that's right.
Why? You know, whatever you want. Like, and I didn't get taught that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it made me feel good to know that his mindset is in the right place. So we just took what we had to teach ourselves and then taught the next generation. And they took that and they took off. These kids is trying to get to the money.
Yes.
They're not about to be broke.
Yes.
Okay, stuff getting more expensive. This technology, these devices, you got to have money at this point. Like, you got to have money to just live a simple life.
Yep.
Living in America.
Absolutely.
So, the fact that you can do it, I only got one. Okay. I got a lot of confused, but I only got one. And that was exhausting. So the fact that you took on this responsibility and it wasn't even in your plan, and now this is multiple kids who are, oh, hold on. I think we lost her. Yeah, I don't know if other people been having trouble with their internet service these past couple of days. I know with that storm yesterday, stuff just been going on. But
here we go.
It's okay. There you go. I'm like, because my internet been acting up too, because I see I'm glitching and doing all this.
In the area, I think.
Yeah, so bear with us, y'all, if this happened. But as I was saying, the fact that you took that responsibility of so many, and then some of this you've been with have been like with you since they were young.
3rd grade. My biggest group, they started with me when they were in 3rd grade. They like 21 and 22 now.
See? And that means something. That says a lot. The fact that they stuck with you this long, that means you have substance, whatever advice you've been giving them, mentorship you've been giving them, it has been working. Because why else would they be sticking around? They're benefiting from it. So I love that. I love that. So not only are you a youth advocate and a mentor to these kids, and I love it, and young adults. Let me just not say kids, because they grown, some of them grown now. But you have also helped people, including myself, in some ways by writing a book. She's the author, y'all. Okay, let me put it. Yeah. I used to know her. Okay.
Yes.
She's the author, y'all, and this book is so. It helped me deal with some healing that I didn't even know I needed healing with, to be honest. Like, your words were so you was just straightforward. You told your story, and the way you told it was like it made it relatable. So even if like the same thing a person didn't go through the same thing you went through, they were able to apply it to different, or at least for me, I was able to apply it in different parts of my life where I could relate to how you felt and what you had to deal with. And so I just want to talk about that a little bit, because I remember reading that you basically had to, and this is why I tell people like a name change. You gave yourself a name change. It's still the same pronunciation, but you gave yourself a name change. So what did that mean? Like, how did that come about? What made you feel like, okay, I need to remove Aisha with the I and become Aisha with the A? What did that mean to you? Why did you feel you needed to do that?
For me, the whole process of healing was like eye-opening. Like, I think when people talk about healing, they often mention, the parts of like rest and going to a spa and all these, like the luxury parts of healing. But people don't talk about that dark side of healing that you have to go through. Like, you have to go through that dark side of healing in order to really be able to come out of it and be stronger than you were when you went in. I went through what I consider to be like a wilderness phase, and I'm still in my wilderness phase. So I had to learn the hard way that elevation requires separation. Ooh. So I had to be separated from people, places, things, people that I loved and I thought loved me and I thought had my back, and I thought, that it was mutual. And when you start to ask God and your ancestors and the universe to, show you where you need to heal, and that's what I did. I asked where I needed to heal. I didn't focus on the people that hurt me or offended me or, did things to me. I couldn't put my focus on them. I was more concerned with, okay, show me the places, the things, the spirits, whatever it is that's within me that I need to change, so that I don't attract people like that in my life anymore. Like, in order for me to lead those people where they are, something in me has to change. So I already knew the meaning of my name, and no matter what way you spell it, the meaning of Aisha is life. It's vivacious. It's the first wife and most honored wife of the Prophet Muhammad. And I'm not Muslim, but I understand the power that my name holds. And when I went through all of the things that I went through, I was just like, you know what? This is like my Phoenix moment. Like, burn it all off.
Yes.
Burn it all off. Whatever needs to go, let it go. Was it hard? Absolutely. Absolutely. Toughest thing I've ever been through in my life. But the lessons that I learned, and sometimes pain is what pushes you to your purpose. I found my purpose. I figured out what my plan was, how I was going to execute it. And it became much easier when I looked at like all of the things that came with who I was when I spelled my name IESHA. And those were a lot of things that I wanted to leave where it was. So I it's the same name, it's a different spelling. But I needed that as like that was my restart button. This is I'm not the same Aisha.
Not the same. Yeah.
I'm not the same Aisha. Yes. I'm not. So
I love that. I'm not the same.
Mm-mm.
I'm not and I feel like a lot of y'all watching can relate to that. So y'all chime in, SophistiRatchets. Hey to Mama Felicia in the building. Ayo. Hey bro, I saw you in there, Willie Taylor. I just hey everybody else. I don't want nobody think I'm leaving them out. Hey y'all, everybody that's coming in. But the conversation is just so good to me. I just love listening to people's stories. It's so inspirational and motivational for me, especially people that are in reach. I feel like it's even more motivational because you see it right in your face. You see the success, you see the grind, and then you see the reward. So you're definitely a walking testimony, and I can relate to the name changes. You just not the same. Like I get this a lot now because I refer to myself as Asha. And people who've known me all my life is either saying Aisha or Asia. You know what I'm saying? So, and I be telling people, if you say that, it's okay. Like, I'm not gonna be like, that's not my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, people been knowing me since I was a little girl. It may be hard for them to accept that I just changed the pronunciation of my name. It's still the same spelling. But when I realized what it meant, I embraced it, and it allowed me to really understand my purpose. So that's why I say I can relate to when you really dig into it and know it, because our names actually have similar meanings, even though yours have an I in it. Because in Swahili it means life, and then it's Indian and it means hope. So for me, with my trauma and what I dealt with, it's like people don't understand why I'm such a socialite, or why I'm so bubbly, or why I'm so extra, as some people like to say. But they don't understand what was behind that. It was times where I wasn't so bubbly. It was times that I wasn't as social. It was times that I didn't want to talk to anybody. It was times that I didn't believe that my life was worth living, or I had purpose, or, you know what I'm saying? Or I didn't feel a part of certain groups. So when I started to embrace my name and I went through my healing process after that after those dark moments, I ain't gonna say that dark, because it was a few times that it got a little dark. And owning that, knowing what it means, what it represents, it gives you a sense of pride. You can walk with your head up and your shoulders back, and we got that BDE chromosome, that big dog energy, you know what I'm saying? It kind of make you be like, all right, you become a new person. You have a new outlook. You got a new perspective. You got a new mindset. You re-energize, and you took off, sis. Like, you took off. And through the trauma, through the dark places, through the healing process, you have overcome. And I love that.
Thank you.
What helped you? What helped you through those dark moments? Again, we talking about hey Dom, what's up, fam? We talked about your book, and we talked about you being an activist, and this is Black History Month. So of course we want to talk about your inspirations and your motivation that helped you through those times. Like you mentioned in your book that you started writing, you started journaling at a very young age. You're very artistic, of course. If y'all don't know, she mentioned she's a dancer. You're artistic, so you have that creative side of you too. What Black figure have been motivating you through these processes? I'm sure it's probably more than one. So, like, just expound on that. Of what Black figures has motivated you to keep pushing towards your purpose, that inspired you, and that's helping you continue on your journey.
Man, my biggest inspiration, and people, I don't think people find this like odd that he would be my biggest inspiration, but my greatest inspiration has always been Tupac. I don't just fight for, you know, my community. When I was a kid, for me to see someone that looked like me, and who was, you know, really, he was young, really young. He was in his 20s when I was introduced to Tupac. But to listen to the way in which he spoke, a lot of my knowledge and my love for Black history and Black people came from the things that I would hear Tupac say, books that he would mention that he read, that I would go. My mom and my dad are both avid readers, and my mother would always take me to get books. She didn't care what book I read. She would just take me to get books. And I would always read, and I found myself like really being pulled in the direction of people like Tupac, Malcolm X, like very, I had a very stern thought about how my people were supposed to prosper, and learning really, really early on, I'm talking like grammar school, about, you know, civil rights and things of that nature, all of the things that were going on, systems that were built to keep my people back. Those are the things that always interest me. Got into politics really early because of my grandfather, my mother's father, teaching me about politics, especially Chicago politics. So I've always paid very close attention. I pay attention to the circles, what party's doing what, who holds the most weight when it comes to making decisions on Black communities and Black Chicago. That's always been a passion of mine. And that's not something that most young people get into really early on. But again, it's influences. And also Josephine Baker. Mm-hmm. I told someone this the other day. I was like, when I learned about, I always loved her as a performer, as Josephine Baker, the performer. But what really drew me to her was her Rainbow Tribe. So, you know, Josephine Baker adopted kids from all over the world, and she bought the biggest house that she could to house all of these kids, and she called them her Rainbow Tribe. And she mothered these children, because that is where her heart was. There was a passion. She would talk about how children deserve to be protected and loved, and given a certain environment. And I said this Sunday at our event, I was like, if I could have bought a big house and took all of these kids, we would have left y'all a long time ago. Like, we would have been gone a long time ago. That's the environment that I was raised in. You know, that's what my mom and my daddy did. Everybody was in our house. I shared my parents my entire life, but not in like a way where I felt slighted. Like, my parents had always made themselves available to my friends, to my cousins, to anybody that was going through. You know, there was so much love given in our household. Yeah, we from the hood. We from, it's active where we at. But I knew in the house that I came from, I had a structure and I had a loving family. That's not to say that things were not hard and we didn't have our challenges, but my parents always made loving us a priority. So, you know, that's where I operate from. I operate from a place of love, and not just, you know, for my own children, because it would be, to me, it would be very selfish to just care about my kids and my kids alone. Mm-hmm. I care about the kids that are connected to my kids. You know what I mean? Like, I have to, you make yourself available to those kids too, because you could very well be the person outside of their household that might save a kid's life. You never know. So you just make yourself available. I grew up in LeClaire Courts, and that's the energy that I grew up in. Even in LeClaire Courts, everybody knew everybody. All the families knew one another. Everybody looked out for each other. And everything, I feel like everything that I do on the West Side, I learned growing up in LeClaire Courts. So that's always been the family and village structure that I had, you know what I mean, like my entire life. So that's where I operate from. So that's why it never really works to deal with people who just know survival. I know what survival is like. I know what it means to try to survive, but that's not the mode or the energy I want to live in for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah. So for me, it was definitely, you know, Black figures like my parents, Tupac, Josephine Baker. I do a lot of reading about Nat Turner. Malcolm X. So, you know, politics, of course, you know, that was where me and my grandfather bonded. So I'm really, really into Chicago politics. Chicago politics is a beast. And if you can learn how to navigate Chicago politics, you something different. So he taught me as a little girl. He's actually the one that told me that I was going to, you know, run for an office. So I've always had that dream because of my grandfather. So, and even with him being gone, you know, I'm still praying on it if I want to do this, because I don't know if Chicago will be ready for somebody like me.
Look, I feel like it's for you. You might just need the savior Chicago needs, honey.
Man.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, hearing your story, you've been getting molded for this since you were here. Your grandfather teaching you about politics, your parents showing you what community and family and love is, being close-knit. And I know a lot of people don't think it matters, but I can relate to just having that, because I'm still like that, just having that close-knit family. Even if it's not a 2-parent household, if you just got that community.
Yep.
I was lucky enough to be in a 2-parent household. That didn't mean it made everything perfect.
Right.
It was still very much dysfunctional moments, but it also gave you that sense of community. My parents' house was the same way. Everybody had a chance to live. Somebody was always living there. Somebody always had the room in the basement, so I couldn't play in the basement when I wanted to because of cousin, auntie, sister, god sister, church daughter didn't stay down there. You know what I'm saying? So it was always someone there. It was always someone in the house. All the holidays was at the house. You know what I'm saying? All the barbecues, everything. So it was always, you knew where to go. Yeah. You had somewhere to go. And I think our youth, that's what they're missing nowadays. They don't have a safe space. Mm-hmm. So you provide that. And I think that's amazing, because I saw somebody put that down there, that they said you are showing them love that they never got a chance to experience.
Yeah.
Some of these kids, you were the first person that actually showed that you care about them, what they want, what they need, what they're going through. They have a voice with you. They feel heard. They seeing you put forth effort to help them. And that's what I want more of us to get involved in doing. I know everybody's purpose is not the youth, but that's where our future at. Yeah. Like that's where everything lies. All the hard work that we put in, sometimes, like you said, we may not even be here to bear the fruits of our labor. It's going to run over and overflow to the ones that are under us. Yep. So at some point, you have to try to find a connection with our youth. And that's my next question for you. What do you have to share with the viewers of how they can get more involved, whether it's through your foundation, if there are programs with the city that you are aware of, any information that you can help us to spread and share to get more involved, whether it's the youth, getting more involved with Chicago politics, where if people are interested on getting more involved with that, to make sure we getting the right people in office. A lot of people don't like mixing politics with church, with religion, but if you look back at history, they've worked hand in hand for decades. So what can we do, the people that are looking to get more involved with the youth and get more involved with the community and the city? What can you recommend for us? Where can we go? What program?
The first thing would be, I'm working on this right now, and this is a initiative that I started 3 years ago. So this will be my 4th summer. But the Austin Safety Action Plan, or ASAP. So these young people you see back here, they all have on these black sweatshirts and t-shirts. You know, the white sign says ASAP on it. The back of the shirts always say "Protect Our Hood." So ASAP is an initiative that I built with these kids. When we start to see like an uptick in shootings in the area, in our area, and it was our way of creating our own safety plan, right? So we could say we want different in our communities, but it's not a lot of people that make the effort and take the initiative to do things to combat what we're seeing, because it's not hard. the world keeps making it seem like it's hard. It's not hard. It's actually extremely easy. We make it hard because it requires more time and sacrifice than people are willing to give. I truly believe that part of my success is because of the time that and I don't see it as a sacrifice, the time that I've put in to build relationships with these kids. Some of my first kids are now 28, 29, 30 years old at this point. And these were kids that I met when I was working with the park and things like that. And when I tell you, to this day, like we still hop on FaceTime calls. We still, they baby's birthday parties, baby showers. I go to everything like this. It had nothing to do with that job. And that's where we have been failing, is that if people are not getting paid for something, they don't want to do it. So everything is attached to a dollar sign, and they wonder why, they can't make a way with these kids. So I stress this a lot, like on my TikTok. One of the things that I talk about a lot is community engagement. So, one of my titles is a community engagement specialist for Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital. So I do work for Lurie Children's Hospital as their community engagement specialist, specifically for the Austin community, though. So,
she got so many hats.
It's a lot, but thank God that they all align. Like all of the things that I do, they all align, and they allow me to do what I love to do, which is be in community, create and establish relationships. But I also get an opportunity to teach people how to be a good partner to my neighborhood, to my community, and do it the right way. So one way for people to really get involved is community engagement. We have gotten away from that. We launched a campaign on Sunday. So Root to Fruit has its own citywide initiative that we are calling We Outside. We Outside 2024 is really about doing things in our safe zone. We do have a 1 mile safe zone over here that we've been running for 3 years. And I'm proud of it because we established that with these kids, and we have been able to see a decrease in criminal activity, crime, shootings by 50% over the past 3 years. To me, that's a huge win. That's a huge win.
Yes.
And part of that is because of the relationships. So we didn't just consider, we want to do this activity right here. It was like, all right, it's a senior home right here. How do we get the seniors involved? It's a garden right here. How do we work in the garden? How do we work with the garden? It's 2 schools right here. Oh, it's a church right here. How do we get involved with the church? So what we did was, part of my thinking is always, part of my success is also the fact that I'm really good at mapping out community engagement strategies. So I literally created a strategy for what I wanted to do in the Austin community from January to June, and then from June to December. So I do it in phases, and I break down by month what I want to do and how I'm going to do it, and who are potential partners or people that I need to partner with to make those things happen, so that it's inclusive, it's intergenerational. So it's not just for the kids. I usually like the young people to lead it, but we have things where it's like, it's really heavily senior focused, but the kids are leading it. And that allows them to create a relationship with the seniors, and the seniors to create a relationship with them. So it's thinking outside the box. Yes, it takes more time. Yes, it requires more of you, but I can say that I'm the neighborhood hero. I've put in 20 years of doing things just like this and being very strategic about how we want our community to be represented. Also, having people to come out. We always invite people into our safe zone space. So starting in March, we're doing walking tours of the safe zone. We want people to see what we've done. This will be the first year that we'll be able to mark the safe zone. So people, they know what it is, but we didn't have anything that marked that this is a safe zone. So this year you'll see a bunch of flags and banners all through the safe zone. So people will know once you cross a certain street, this area right here is a safe zone. We want people to come out and do the walking tours that are being led by these young people. We have community conversations, which we call breaking breads. I did one before I hopped on the call. I did one at Kip Elementary. I go to these elementary schools. I present myself as a volunteer. I'm cleared through the schools with CPS, with the Noble schools, to come in as a community volunteer. And I literally sit with these kids after school and I pose maybe 1 or 2 questions and I let them tell me their stories. I let them explain to me what they want to see in their community, what type of things they are interested in. And sometimes they don't even know what they're interested in because we haven't exposed them to enough. So we have to, as a whole, get better at doing community engagement. Go out to the things that's happening into your community. We tend to always go into somebody else's community and want to commune there with them. And then we complain about what we don't have in our neighborhood or what we don't do in our neighborhood, but who's organized? Like, why are you not doing it here then?
Why are you not doing it? Make it happen.
It's here, just do it. Like we go spend our money with other people and they don't want us there, but we go spend our money with other people. We go to their events. We have to start doing those things in the spaces that already exist, support the people who are already doing the work. I would love for people to come out this summer and see what we're doing. We're hosting our first camp this year for 35 kids. The camp is a leadership camp for seekers, thinkers, and doers. We want to train these young people how to do what these kids already know how to do. So they will have an opportunity for the summer to learn how to advocate, learn how to amplify their voices. And I'm gonna teach them how to do my job, how to take my job. To be completely honest, I hope we plant a seed in some of them. And I hope that the things that I expose them to opens a door for them. But for us, it's really getting involved. Find out what is happening in your community and what's not happening in your community. And then you think about how you could create those same things in the neighborhoods that you live in. Like, we can't keep talking about, because clearly we keep saying, we let other people narrate our stories. We let other people tell folks what our communities are like. Whenever you hear about the West Side or the South Side or so, it's not us telling our stories. It's always somebody else who don't live in
somebody else
telling our stories. And they get it wrong every single time. I don't feel like that when I walk out of my door. I know I'm good at my neighborhood. I don't feel like a hostage in my neighborhood, but that's because I'm active. I get out to where people can see me and speak to me, and I can speak to people when I'm walking. I don't feel like that. And other people shouldn't, especially when we can see that folks are moving into our neighborhood. So it can't be that bad. They coming here, they running, jogging, walking dogs. It can't be that bad because So what do we need to do? Well, it's a self-check. We have to do a self-check. Ask yourself, how involved are you? If the extent of your involvement is you posting stuff on social media, then you're not as involved as you think you are. But I would love to. I'm also hosting workshops and trainings around community engagement to show people how to do exactly what I do. Everything that I'm doing can be done in different communities. You just tailor it to the neighborhood that you live in. But you can take the same steps that I have written out, that I've put into a strategy, and you could take that and you can do the very same thing in your neighborhood. So that's how we get involved, y'all. Everybody got to be about their business and take a little more time to do the extra.
Yes. So y'all hear that? That's what it is. And I'm telling this to myself. Just get involved. Show up to these events. We put her link on their Root to Fruits Foundation. I put the link in there. It's on there. So can we find out about these upcoming events you have through that website? Okay. So make sure y'all get this website. Like, y'all, for real, like, we definitely need to get more involved. We have someone who has a passion, who has the heart, who knows her purpose. She has the blueprint. We need to get behind her and make this happen. This is not just for the youth. As she said, it's to show that we can come together as a community. We always talk about and complain about what we don't like, what we seeing, the changes that we don't like. The only way that something is going to happen and it can change in our favor is if we get involved. We have to get involved. So that was the whole point of this show today. I hope y'all got something from this conversation. Like I said, it's not going to always be talking about the tea and rah-rah. we have to have balance. I'm gonna come on here. I'm going to talk about what I feel is important. And I feel like this is something important. It's in my heart to be more involved because, like you said, just sharing posts all the time, I'm sorry, it's not enough. Like, let's just be for real, because we have said that a lot. Like, just share for me. It just take a few minutes to just share. It's just a click away. Like, yes, that's easy to support as well, but we gotta be doers. We gotta put in work. We gotta do more than just sharing posts. And like I said, I'm speaking to myself when I say this. So we got to get involved. Let's get behind Aisha, y'all. She, like I said, she has the blueprint. She has a heart for the people. She has a heart for the community. I feel like she is going to be the savior of Chicago. That's probably the only way I probably say in Chicago is if she's in office. Because otherwise, I'm going to support my community, but I'm ready to get up out of here.
Yes.
But
yes.
I still want to support my people. Hey, Tiara girl. And I still want to be supportive no matter where I live. That doesn't mean I can't be involved and give back and support. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely going to do better. I'm giving you my word here on this live in front of the few viewers we got left. And I'm going to be more involved. That's just what my heart is. I want to, it's for the culture. Like, it's time out for excuses. We have the resources. We have the connections. Y'all, she done been in rooms with people with names, okay? She has the connections. She has the blueprint. Let's make this happen. Let's go to rootofruit.org. Keep up with the events she has going on. Show up to the events. Support the events. Donate to the events. Even if you can't make it, tell somebody else about it. Share the flyers. Send a donation if you can't be there in place. Let's get our kids involved too. I'm going to start with my child. I know he about making his money right now, but I'm also going to express to him how important it is to be involved in our communities and with our people. So that's what we want to take from this tonight. So I hope y'all did get something from this conversation. I hope Aisha, Miss Pooh, was an inspiration and a motivation to y'all. And somebody did ask about your book again. They may have came in when after I showed it the first time. This is her book. I used to know her. Y'all, it's good. Y'all just got to get the book to read the goodness that's in here. It's helpful. It's very helpful. Tiara says, sorry, Mrs. Conversation. I'm going to rewatch it. I definitely need to link with you, Pooh. I'm currently on the PAB for Kids for Chicago and would like to get some feedback from you. Okay. Yeah, she does. Yes. Remember, yeah, y'all need to talk. So make sure you do connect with her, Tiara. Y'all definitely need to talk. Anybody else, y'all, she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram, she's on TikTok. I know, what's your name on TikTok?
Neighborhood Hero.
Neighborhood Hero on TikTok. Go to Root to Fruit. She's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. She's on all the social media platforms. So it's no excuse and not be able to contact her and get involved with her and what she got going on. All right. Let's make it happen.
Please do. T, send me a message. And if you guys, I absolutely love doing sessions, breaking bread sessions with kids. So if you have a classroom or I'm always in the schools volunteering, just being a speaker or holding sessions for them, and sometimes being a buffer for the administration with the students to help them connect. So even in those spaces, you know what I mean, working with the juvenile center and task. So it's making I can't change everything. I'm very honest. I cannot change everything, but there is something about the way that I work that a lot of young people tend to gravitate to. So if I could be of help or of service in some way, please hit me up and let me know and we can figure it out.
Y'all hear the mayor? Y'all here? Okay, she here. She's making herself available. Hey, Sade, we proud of you too, girl. We proud of you too, girl. Keep being great. What all the hats you wearing too? That's another one that wear a lot of hats. Okay.
Yes.
She in ministry. She got the event planner going on. I'm gonna be in touch with you, girl. I ain't forget. Tayshawn prom is coming quickly. Okay, this prom stuff has got me. I'm kind of happy now. I only got to do this one time. Oh, Jesus. But yes, y'all, I'm so happy you came on here. I'm glad y'all tuned in. I appreciate you, sis, for coming in, educating us, giving us tips, letting us know what's going on in our communities. It's not just in Inglewood. It's not just in Wicker Park. It's not just in Humble Park. Austin community got a lot going on. You can find out more. Tune in with your girl, Aisha Oliver. Okay? With all the titles. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, we here next week. March kicks off Women's History Month. So we are going to have more wonderful, beautiful women. Y'all know I'm for the culture right now, so they all might be Black. It's okay. Everybody on the platform, we need to see more of us, but we definitely gonna be celebrating women's history. So we got a lot more in store for y'all. We right back here at 8 p.m. next week on Wednesday. Laugh, baby. And don't forget to get your tickets for our Pops 90s game night kickoff March 6th. Tickets only $25. Click that Eventbrite link that's in the chat, and I need to see y'all there so we can get real SophistiRatchet. Okay. I love y'all. See y'all next week.